Hi everyone, Stepan here with another training game. I'm gonna go d4. Oh, my opponent is rated only 2088, but okay. Now the last game I played, I didn't manage to record. I lost it. It was a dreadful defeat. Okay, he aborted the game. Let's have a new opponent. So I had the chimney guys come in, whatever the name is. The guys who fix the heating, the boiler that heats the water, and they had to do some documentation, whatever. So I ended up stopping recording and opened up the game on my phone and played while talking to them. Obviously, I blundered the game away fairly quickly and lost. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't manage to record it. But okay. Okay, we have a game. We have a Caro-Kann 2372 Takis M. We're gonna play the classical and the Karpov. Let's see what he does. Okay. Now the only line that worries me from here is takes knight e5. I think it's almost impossible to equalize as black in that line. White is always slightly better, although last time I played it over the board, I managed to draw against an IM. This is also okay, but now the principled move could be h5. h5 seems very tempting, but I'm going to play it slow. I'm going to go e6 and b6 and bishop b7. Basically, whenever there's a knight on g3, you want to punish it by playing h5, h4. Now I still have time for that, only I've prevented knight e5, knight f5, and knight e4 has already been prevented. So you could argue that it's more efficient after e6. Now bishop g5 prevents h4, h5, but I could go h6, h5, h4. Although before that, I want to develop my bishop. Now, he's going to castle queenside. He's going to go queen d2 and castle queenside. So I think bishop d6 followed by h6 makes sense. Although he has knight e4. So if I go bishop d6, he goes knight e4. So h6 first, bishop f4, then I don't have bishop d6. I could play c5 straight away, although bishop e7 is probably more prudent, so I'm going to do that. I don't like developing my bishop to e7, but this pin is annoying because of knight e5. Okay, c3 means that it's going to be harder for him to castle queenside, so I'm happy to see that. So now I could consider queen c7 or castles. Queen c7 followed by h6 seems fine to me, and it also prepares b6, bishop b7, c5 without my queen being on the d file. So I like this. Also prevents knight e5, prevents knight e4. That has already been prevented by bishop e7, but okay. I'm a minute down on the clock. So far not too bad. Okay, if I go h6, he goes bishop e3 or bishop d2, which are both passive squares. So let's go h6. And then I want to go b6, bishop b7 and c5. I don't expect him to take. Okay, now he wants to probably go c4, bishop c3 in the future, but that means that c3 was a waste of tempo. Do I have anything more useful than b6? c5 straight away before he castled means that d5 isn't as strong, so c5 could be the move here. Do I take with the pawn? With the knight or with the bishop? c5 or b6? I think b6 first and bishop b7. he's not going to play b4 because I can play c5 anyway. And after bishop b7, if he castles kingside, I can consider h5, h4, and castling queenside. Okay, bishop b7. And then my next moves are either rook d8 or c5 or h5. Okay, now c5 runs into d5. But I still have knight takes or bishop takes. He now has knight e5. But if he plays knight e5, I could go rook d8. And then I'm on the bishop. I feel like c5 is the move here, but switching plans could be useful. I could consider castling kingside too. So either c5 or rook d8 or castles kingside or castles queenside. On castles queenside, knight e5 no longer loses a pawn because of rook e1. Huh. I'm not sure. For now, I'm gonna go c5 and then decide later. If he goes knight e5, I'm gonna take. And not the knight, the pawn on d4. And if he takes on c5, then obviously I'm opening up the d file, which is to my advantage because of rook d8. Now obviously I have the option to go queen c6 later if the knight moves, which is always useful. The e4 square is covered sufficiently, but okay. This prevents cd4. So I think I either go rook d8 or castle kingside. Rook d8 may not be as useful because he doesn't have to take. So I'm gonna castle kingside. Now on d5 I cannot take with the pawn because my bishop is pinned, and the question is, do my rooks go to dc, ed, or ec? He still doesn't have any tricks with bishop b1 and queen c2. My dog is next to me, by the way. I'm petting my dog because she is playing chess today. I don't know why. Every time when it's even slightly windy outside, she's really afraid. And there may have been some wind today. I'm not sure. Yalla, Kira. Now she's giving me pause because she likes that. Okay. Sorry, Kira. So if knight takes, pawn takes, queen c6, he has to play f3. So I don't think I take yet. I need to develop my pieces. I want to get my rook to d8 so that on knight takes, pawn takes, I can play rook d3. So now I have a direct threat, unless he wants to take on e5 with the rook. I have to be slightly concerned about queen e2 here. Okay, he takes immediately. Yeah, I mean, I take with the rook, I suppose. I'm gonna double my rooks on the d file if he's helping me do that. He could play knight e4 or bishop e4 to challenge my bishop. But now queen c6 is easier to play. And his knight on g3 is definitely misplaced. Because if trading is the best thing he can do, then my bishop ends up on f6 and I have a lot of pressure on d4. And again, he cannot take on c5. I think lining up his pieces on the d file may not have been tactically sound. I think a move like bishop b1 or even bishop f1 to defend g2 could be okay. In normal positions where the knight is on f3, usually black could play something like g3 and bishop f4 here. That's something I've actually faced in a tournament game, and that could be unpleasant for me. But in this case, obviously, the knight is blocking the g pawn. Okay, he wants to trade bishops that way. I don't really want to trade bishops. I cannot go rook d6. If I go rook d5, he can just repeat with bishop c4. So it seems like I have two options, bishop c6 or rook d8. It seems, but we have something better. I don't want to trade bishops. No, I don't want to trade bishops. My bishop is definitely better than his, because I'm putting pressure on g2. Now I don't think I can trap the bishop with c4. But I could gain more space with a6, at least. Maybe that's not a useful move, but it's a tempo gain. Now he doesn't have knight e4. Wow, bishop e3. That's a very funny looking move, because he wasn't threatening to take that pawn. Is knight e4 a move here? Or just chasing the bishop away? If I go knight e4, he goes bishop d2, I go knight f4 with pressure on g2. Is that a good trade? I'm losing control over the e4 square. So he takes, I take with the queen, I get the bishop pair. He doesn't have rook e4 yet, he has knight e2. But then queen g5. That's actually interesting. So knight e4, knight d5, bishop d2, knight f4. I can use the time he needs to set up a mating battery on h7. So if knight d5, I believe he has to retreat the bishop. Giving the bishop away doesn't seem good, so I'm gonna go knight d5. Unless on bishop d2 knight f4 he plays bishop f1, which may not be a bad idea. But I'm still using the fact that he cannot move the g pawn. If he plays c4 and I take, then pawn takes cd4, ed4. He has pawns on d4 and c4. How do I put pressure on them? I could go bishop f6. Yeah, that seems good enough. Bishop f6 seems good enough. Equal on time. Bishop e3 was a funny move. I believe he has to go back. I mean, you cannot allow me to take that bishop and to play bishop f6. That just seems like a superior position for me. And when I play bishop f6, my plan could be bishop a8, queen b7. Or simply queen b8, reversing the battery and playing for queen a8, threatening c takes d4. I did not look at bishop h6, gh6, queen g4. But on king h8, knight h5, I have rook g8. And it's not that easy for him to get to the dark squares, because I have bishop g5 or queen f4 if he moves the knight away. So I think that sacrifice doesn't work. Although he could be able to do a rook lift with rook e4 or rook e3. It's kind of scary, but I don't think it works. Yeah, I don't think it works, because if the knight moves and I go rook g8, I'm threatening to take on g2. So bishop h6, gh6, queen g4, king h8. If rook e4, the knight f6 forks the queen and rook. I could also consider queen f4. And the scary thing, okay, he allowed me to take. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take. I have the bishop pair now. Well, I don't think I go bishop f6 immediately. Okay, now he wants to go bishop a4, bishop c2. I always have f5, but could we start with a sneaky move like bishop d6? Oof, that seems nice. Or even bishop h4. Ooh, bishop h4 seems nice. He plays e4. Yeah, on bishop h4 he plays e4. Then I take, he takes with the pawn. I have a better pawn structure, but is that enough? I could then consider rook d5 instead, with the idea of rook g5. So rook d5, e4, rook g5, blocking my bishop. So basically bishop d6 and bishop h4 are the same idea, winning a pawn. He plays e4. I take it. He takes with the h pawn. What do I do next? Maybe I shouldn't give up my bishop like that. The knight is controlling the e4 square now. And my bishop seems like it's going to end up trapped after e4, e5. So I kind of like this. I want to regain control over e4, and this helps a bit. He has to go e4 now. And I can then go e5. I don't even have to take the knight, because d5 I take with the rook, and no, I don't take with the rook. Jesus, there's a pawn on e4. I should have played e5 now. I should have played e5 before bishop h4. Yeah, I should have played e5. Yeah, e4. Now I don't have e5. So maybe I can go queen d6. Queen d6 seems like a nice move. Threatening to win the pawn on d4. Okay, I'm going queen d6. That may seem weird, but I'm trying to provoke e5. And I'm trying to get away from the c file. Now if he plays e5, I go queen d5. And I win the pawn on d4, I think. And of course dc5 fails to queen c5 check, queen e3, queen takes bishop, or if the queen doesn't move, then I take the queen. So he cannot take on c5. Okay. Now I need my other rook in play. So I either go rook c8, rook fd8, or I go f5. But I don't want to go f5. This bishop is incredibly annoying. His light squared bishop, that is. I could consider bishop f6 here. But yeah, not really, because his rook is still on e1. Okay, I'm gonna go rook c8. I need my other rook in play. And I would like to infiltrate on c2. He probably plays bishop a4. I'm expecting bishop a4. Although then I could consider c4. Misplacing the queen, yeah, bishop a4. So if I go c4, the queen has to stay on the knight. So rook fd8, bishop c2, c4. Queen f3 or queen e3. I'm expecting queen e3. I don't really want to go c4. Okay, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go c4 on bishop c2. I could also consider f5, but this way at least I'm not getting mated, and I don't even have to play c4 on bishop c2, because on e5 I have queen d5. And on queen h7, king f8, queen h8, king e7. Ooh, but then he has knight f5 check. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Okay, so I may have to play c4. Well, yeah, okay. No. Knight f5, I can take it safely. So, c4, queen e3. I don't like that. cd4, e5, queen d5 seems okay. cd4, cd4. I have queen c6. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm not afraid of this. Let me just check. cd, e5, queen d5, queen h7, king f8, queen h8, king e7, knight f5, I take it. Yeah, seems okay. Also, I don't go queen d5, I go queen c6, because then he cannot recapture. So e5 is a blunder. I go queen c6. Not, yeah, okay, what? Queen c6, threatening mate, queen h7, king f8. Okay, queen c6. Now he cannot take back. He didn't calculate this correctly. He cannot go queen h8. No way. Because he gets mated. And he cannot take back because he loses the bishop. Okay, calculated correctly for once. Okay, this I didn't see. But I guess... Okay, I didn't see this. I didn't see this Zwischenzug. So, can I get away with queen c5? Queen c5, bishop b7, dc3, king somewhere, rook takes rook, c2. Oh, maybe I can get away with it. Queen c5, bishop b7, dc3 check, king h1, let's say, rook d1, rook d1, c2, queen h8 check, king e7, queen takes c8. Doesn't work because of c takes d1 mate. So I like queen c5. Okay, I'm playing queen c5. I think I have enough. Ah, why did I miss that? Oh, but I can throw in? No, I cannot. Ah, yes, yes I can. I can throw in bishop e4. Bishop e4. If queen h8, then king e7. Yeah, okay, I can throw in bishop e4. I missed it, but okay, he has queen e4. But I get a couple of pawns once he takes this bishop. No, I don't have to give up my bishop. I can play queen e7. 1 minute on the clock. My God. Yeah, I'm just down the exchange, but I have the 2 bishops. He plays rook c1 here. Ugh. He doesn't take back. He plays rook c1. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I'm dead lost, unfortunately. He has knight e4 here, and I don't have a move. Yeah, I missed bishop e4. Queen c5 was a bad idea. That would have required a lot more calculation in an actual game. I wouldn't have played queen c5 that quickly in a tournament game, but I was running short on time and I just missed that he has that forcing move. I don't think I could save the game after bishop e4, because after queen h8 he grabs the exchange. I'm not gonna resign, I'm going to fight on, but I honestly don't know how. At least he doesn't have rook b1. That's one good thing. Unless he plays g4 and h5. Okay. He cannot go knight c1 because I take with check. Knight c8, sorry. Still take with check. What now? Let's trade pawns. I think I resign at this point. I don't have a single move. Yeah, I can try this. Because I can take and then take on c5 if he plays knight c8. I have to trade pawns. Okay, now I'm officially out of moves. I can still try this. It's not good, but I can try it. I'm controlling a couple of more squares. And if I can set up my bishop on g5, that blocks the queen side. And my bishop defends these two squares, so he has no checks along the 6th rank. And I'm threatening fe and bishop takes. Okay. He wants to go rook f1. So I think I have to do this to force his king away. He doesn't have rook e1 because of takes and bishop d6, but then he takes on h6. Okay. This is a theoretical win for white, definitely, but at least my bishop is covering both pawns. And, you know, maybe I can hold. I traded off many pawns. If he doesn't create a passed pawn, he doesn't win. And he needs to double attack one of my pawns, which isn't easy to do. Okay, so I just need to wait somehow. He's going to chase me away to the back rank. So let's wait. Is this a safe waiting move? No. But let's do it still. Nothing is safe. I'm pretty sure this is a theoretical win. I don't know. I mean, there could be some weird way to hold, but... Okay, I have to go to the corner. Otherwise I lose the pawn in the game. Ah, now he mates me. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't think about that. I have to do this. Yeah, now I'm losing. I'm gonna resign when he takes on a7. He just takes on a7 and wins. Why didn't he take on a7? He cannot take that pawn. Okay. Yeah, no, he can. Okay, I'm going to resign. Okay, so the critical moment was queen c5. And I should have accepted the fact that I had misplayed the position, and I should have just gone queen here. And yeah, then he takes everything. And I'm still worse. Let's see. Queen c5 is the best move. Okay, well, where did I blunder? Okay, b4. Let's just make sure that this doesn't work. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. Yeah, okay, I was sure about this. Rook d1, and I was gonna play c2. Yeah. And I win. Okay, queen e3, game over. Good, because if he takes, I have mate. So that I did calculate. Bishop e4 was also correct. Queen h8, king e7, queen d8, everything perfect. bc5, and now I played bishop c2. Yeah, bishop c2 was a mistake. Why does the engine say plus 0.7 and now switches to plus 2? Yeah, bishop c2 was just a blunder. I completely missed rook takes d4. So let's say I try to save myself this way. Rook takes d4. bc5. Yeah, I'm completely losing here. So queen c5 is losing, but it was the best move. What? Do you see how the engine says plus 0.3? No, I guess you cannot see that. Let me just expand. Yeah, you can see the bar at least. The engine says, yeah, plus 1 after queen c5. And then after b4, it changes its mind. Ah, rook d8 was a blunder. I need to go king d8. Why? Why? What's the point? Bishop d5? Why couldn't I go bishop d5 here? I don't understand this. What if rook d4 here? Ah, the difference is that I have my rook on the c file. Okay, so what I did wrong was actually rook takes d8. Queen c5 was good. Never occurred to me to play king d8. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you liked the game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.